What's up, Raider Nation? This is your boy Knee to the Face, back at it again. I told you I'd be back at it again. Sorry for the long wait, but here I am. We're going to talk about the defense. Is Gus Bradley going to turn this thing around? Well, that's the question we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about, do we have enough? A top 10, a top 5, a top 20? Or are we going to stay in the same place as far as defense is concerned? Can you like and subscribe, wake up the neighbor, kick the dog, ring the doorbell of your neighbor's dog? I don't care. What's up, Raider Nation? We're back at it again. Hiya. All right. So with the 2021 defense of the Raiders, it looks like we're going secondary heavy, of course, because we have a lot of passing teams like the Denver Broncos have Drew Lock, and Teddy Bridgewater. And we have the Chargers, which their quarterback's okay. Justin Herbert, whatever, he's okay, but they're hyping up real good. I'm curious to see what a second year is going to be like. The second year is always the downfall of either the quarterback's going to be really good or they're going to be really bad. And then you have ESPN's favorite, or second favorite, depending on who you're talking about, but Patrick Mahomes. We went secondary heavy. We picked up Yannick, which I'm really excited about. It's going to obviously boost that line. You're going to have more of a rush than just Max Crosby. They can't just double him. They have Yannick. I think he'll cause more problems than actual Max Crosby will. I think Max Crosby will take a step forward. He's looking a little bit stronger. He's looking a little bit healthier. It looks like he's growing into his body a little bit more. The biggest thing was getting Casey Hayward for that secondary. The secondary is a big issue. Damon Arnett was labeled a bust after 1 year, had no practicing. He got COVID twice. He broke his arm, but we label a guy a bust after all that shit, and he actually competed. If you watch the games, the dude competes. He was just in the wrong position. And that has to do with coaching. The coaches that Gus Bradley brought over with him are looked at as the best secondary coaches you could possibly think of. So if he sucks this year, then it's time to talk about how he's a bust. The other problem child is Jonathan Abram. He looks like he has it all. But right now, all we can see from him is that he can actually hit people really hard, but he gets lost in coverage. He also gets baited by the quarterbacks. He gets burnt very badly. Or you've seen those big plays against our defense last year. It's due to him getting baited by the quarterback. They're using his aggressiveness against him, and he's getting lost in space. So therefore, hopefully these defensive minds put him in the right position and put him where he needs to be, which is going to be a box safety. But in that system, you're still going to be moving around. So that classification of hanging around the box is not necessarily true. But we also got Moreg as well, hanging back there. He can do a little bit of both. When he was at TCU, he played free safety and strong safety, played slot. He played everything. So it's really great to see somebody that actually plays the ball on the defense, especially in the secondary. Me being a secondary guy, I love the fact that how his whole game, he is just a cover guy. His head is always looking for the ball. He's never lost in space, and he's not following the receiver. He's following the ball. He's watching the quarterback. And that's what Jonathan Abram needs to start doing. We got a lot of question marks all over our defense. Me being a defensive guy in general, the defensive line, besides Yannick and having Max Crosby, we don't know too much about inside defensive line, simply because we are taking risk on a couple of guys that didn't quite pan out, but they do have a lot of potential behind them. Don't get me, misconstrued with that one. So the whole question mark is, are they going to pay off with Rod Marinelli? Are they going to pay off with Gus Bradley? We don't know. That's something to be seen. But that makes the difference in the secondary as well. They got to play as a unit, and if they're not creating pressure, once again, that's what we had problems since Khalil Mack. And realistically, If Khalil Mack was off the field, we didn't get any pressure. So therefore, we need this team from the front line to start creating pressure. I mean, even the worst defensive backs look great with the great pressure up front. So we got to start looking at that and making it a strong point. But the other question mark is Corey Littleton. How does he fit in this defense? I really don't know. Corey Littleton and Nick Kalkowski, how do they fit into this defense? Nick, I really don't know how he kind of fits into this defense. He's not a faster linebacker. That's kind of out of Gus Bradley's wheelhouse. He likes fast linebackers. I heard he might be traded, but that's all rumor talk. Corey Littleton, I think they see a little bit of Ingram inside of Corey Littleton. They're just going to have him blitz a lot. I don't see too much coverage from him. I think they're going to use more safeties, the bigger safeties that they just drafted with Gillespie and also Divine Diablo to use as linebackers, hybrid / safeties, along with Abram, to kind of cover these Travis Kelce's, these faster tight ends in the division, more so using a liability like Littleton or more so Nick Kalkowski. Having him doesn't make sense. Nick Kalkowski's a good leader of putting people where they need to be, but as far as coverage, I didn't quite see it on the faster tight ends. On the zone coverage they run, he's not making it to the points. So it's yet to be seen, and I don't know if it's going to really work out for Nick. We got a lot of defensive backs. I don't know who's really going to make it through. We just got another defensive back in the draft. We got Isaiah Johnson, we got David Arnett, we got Mullins. One of my personal favorites, and they keep on bringing up his names, even though we went through OTAs and small little camps, is Amik Robertson. I think Amik Robertson makes a huge splash. I'm not sold on Mullins. I'm not sold on Arnett 100%. Amik is a dog. He can just play ball, and then you put him in the position to succeed. And with the talent they have around them, they should be very successful in the secondary this year. They have a lot of secondary people. I don't understand what the game plan is behind that. Possible trade, possible release. Reality is we should be pretty decent this year on defense, but it's a first-year system. I guess that's going to go for as a pass. I really don't see it as a pass. I see it as you need to get the job done. We need to make the playoffs. Like I was stating in one of my other videos, is that Derek Carr needs to make the playoffs. So does his defense. So does his organization. So does John Gruden. So does Mike Mayock. So does Mark Davis. The whole organization as a whole needs to make the playoffs, or they're all on the hot seat, to be honest with you. It all doesn't start with the defense. It doesn't start with anything besides the team as a whole, but this has been the problem for many of years. And you want to think about the good Raiders teams of the past, look no further to a great defense. And this was what it boils down to, is that we neglected it through the years, and now we're kind of making our way to it. So hopefully we make fully towards it. The biggest concern overall should be the defensive line, and especially the inside defensive line. If Solomon Thomas or Jefferson doesn't make that difference this year, especially in a training camp, we need to trade right away. There is no time to bullshit with that anymore, because we bullshitted for too long with Paul Gunther. The whole defense of his, we saw it wasn't working from the beginning, and we had flashes and then it would disappear. Similar what he did in Cincinnati. He always lived in the shadow of Zimmer. He is not Zimmer, and we saw that. I argued so much about it, and his defense is just not that good. He's a good assistant coordinator. He's not a good coordinator. Gus Bradley's a great coordinator. And he's not a head coach. We all saw that. So in reality is that if Gus wants a shot at being a head coach again, he's got to make this defense work. And the biggest part is that inside defensive line. Solomon Thomas, Jefferson, and we got a couple other guys, but in reality is that we got to make it work this year, or a lot of people should be let go because of this situation. I don't think any of these guys on the defense are that bad, especially the rookies. I like Kuntz. I like all the draft picks. I love the draft this year overall by far, and it might be biased because it was defensively, but I think this is a great draft class overall. But anyways, again, let me know what you think. Let me know what I should talk about next. I should be talking about the training camp of next video, because training camp starts tomorrow. Let me know what you think. Anyways, please like and subscribe. Please let your neighbor know, or any other Raider Nation, let them know about these videos. I don't have a completely biased opinion. I will agree with you for the most part if you're not talking crazy, like picking up every free agent that hits the market. But let me know what you think about this defense this year. I think they could possibly hit around 15, like rank 15, around that area. I don't know if they'd be top 10 material, possibly a high 20s, but let me know what you think in the comments below. Anyways, please like and subscribe. Again, Raider Nation, see you later.